Hello everyone, welcome back to Spec Gaming. So this week Nintendo has officially announced that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which releases on March the 3rd with the Nintendo Switch and also releasing on the Wii U, will in fact have some DLC involved with the game. So they've announced two specific DLCs. One, which is DLC Pack 1, which comes summer 2017. The second, DLC Pack 2, coming winter 17. But you could get both of these packs for one price under the expansion pass price. So this DLC has been priced at $19.99 or about £18 in British pounds, which if you ask me is quite cheap for DLC, and especially a season pass. Obviously it always depends what's included, but yeah, that's quite a cheap season pass, that's in my personal opinion. However, this news from Nintendo has received a lot of negative response, and I just want to ask the question, why? Why is that the case? And just want to have a little bit of a discussion on that matter. So first of all, a lot of people always like to state how they want Nintendo to be like the others, meaning Sony and Microsoft, and sort of catch up with modern gaming and get involved basically, you know, with online and all this other stuff. And maybe in the past people have been a bit like, they never add DLC to their games. But Nintendo's always been criticised for being behind in the gaming industry. They're always sort of made out to be the one lagging behind. So the general perception is everyone wants Nintendo to catch up and sort of, you know, there's a lot of people when before the Switch was announced, they wanted something basically like a Nintendo version of the PS4, something really powerful that plays Nintendo games as well as all the other third-party games. Obviously the Switch is unique in its own way, and a lot of people weren't happy with that and they were disappointed Nintendo didn't just make a dedicated game console, like I said, like the PS4 or the Xbox One, but the Nintendo branding on it obviously. So with all that sort of mentality of I want Nintendo to catch up and be more like other modern gaming sort of companies, why is it a problem they're now releasing a season pass for one of their games? They did something quite similar a couple of years ago with Mario Kart 8. It wasn't really called a season pass, but you could buy both DLCs that were released for the game for a set price, which is essentially a season pass. You pay one price for all the DLCs down the line, and that DLC was basically raved about and everyone said that Nintendo did it right. It was cheap. I don't think it was much more, if it was any more than the cost of this Zelda DLC. Another example of a game Nintendo's done DLC in is Super Smash Bros., where they've added fighters and stages into the game. And again, people were happy with that. People got to vote on the sort of fighters they wanted to come to the game. So some of the old ones, such as Roy, people didn't mind, and obviously you didn't have to buy it. You didn't really get a worse experience if you didn't buy the DLC, so it wasn't a problem. Other games such as Fire Emblem on the 3DS has had DLC to sort of have extra maps, extra sort of battles to take part in, and I've not really heard too many bad things about those either. But now Zelda has DLC and everyone seems to be kicking off a fuss. There's a general perception that everyone's like, oh no, they've announced a season pass before the game's out, that's bad. They've got stuff they've taken out of the full game release and they've just put it into DLC. I really don't think that is the case. Let's be honest, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the actual game, was finished probably a long time ago. It was being made for the Wii U first. The Wii U version's been playable for a while, and as far as I'm aware, as what I've heard, the Wii U game has been finished for some time and it's been delayed in terms of its launch, so it can release with the Switch, obviously releasing both the titles at the same time. So the game itself has been finished for a while. They've obviously added this on after they finished the development, and I think Nintendo would never take away from the full game experience, especially as a flagship series such as Zelda and a flagship game this is going to be. They would never take away from the actual game, like the full game experience. So what you're going to get in the DLC is actually going to be add-on to the game and going to, you know, try and extend the life, give you more stuff to do. And it's also an option. You do not have to get this DLC by any means. So 3 options available. Some people have said they haven't announced if you can buy the DLC packs individually, but I will say 100% you will be able to buy the DLC packs individually. Otherwise, they'd just be telling you about the expansion pass bonus. I wouldn't be telling you about the packs individually. So the 3 options are expansion pass bonus. So you get 3 new treasure chests, basically from the start of the game, found right in the starting point of the game, and they contain useful items, and you get an exclusive in-game clothing, which I believe is a Nintendo Switch t-shirt or something of that sort of sort. So yeah, you get that straight away. That's like a bonus, right? You picked up the season pass, so you've paid your money right now or right when the game comes out. DLC doesn't come out till summer and winter, so they're just giving you something small to start off. I mean, it's just something you can wear, a different visual, and the 3 treasure chests, I would assume the items, you can find them in the game anyway. They're just giving them to you a bit early, and that's just a bonus, okay? That's just a bonus, that's all it is. The 2 individual DLC packs, you've got DLC pack 1, which adds a new Cave of Trials challenge, a new hard mode, and an additional map feature. Now, there is one thing that maybe annoys me a little bit with this one. The hard mode, maybe that should be included in the game, but I'm not sure if there's going to be sort of a hard mode already in the game and this is just an extra mode as well. Hopefully that's not the case, and hopefully there is, like, you got the normal game mode. Then I think Zelda games usually have heroic mode or something like that, and hopefully this is a new hard mode on top of that as well. Otherwise, that is a little bit of a cause for concern, but that's the only thing really. Additional map features, obviously it's not really specified what it is, but it's DLC, obviously it's new content, that's what you're paying for. And new challenges, Cave of Trials challenges. So this DLC pack seems like the smaller one, so hopefully if you do buy them individually, this will be the cheaper one. So DLC pack 2 in the winter then, new original story, a new dungeon, and additional challenges. So it looks like it's going to be like an add-on to the story. You get a new dungeon with that as well. Obviously it won't be the same size as a full game, but you know, it's more content. If you finish the game by then and you still want a little bit more Breath of the Wild, you've got a new story that you can do. Is that really a bad thing? And I'm assuming, because it's out in winter, it's quite far away, I doubt they've really finished developing that yet. I would have thought they're still working on that, if they've even started yet. So you don't know, do you? So I really don't think they've taken stuff out of the full game and put it into DLC. And if they have, I'll hold my hands up and say I was wrong. And yeah, I just think Nintendo wouldn't do that, but I'd be shocked if they do. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with all this negativity around The Legend of Zelda DLC? Or are you going to support them and buy it? Or are you not going to buy it but you don't care either way, you think it's fine? Personally, I think people are set in their own ways and Nintendo hasn't done things like this before, and it's the first for the Legend of Zelda series and people just like to sort of complain. At the end of the day, you want Nintendo to move forward. This is an example of them moving forward. Everyone else does season passes. Some people do them a lot worse than others, and I think this is an example of a season pass that could be done correctly. And if it does pay off, I wouldn't be bothered if they do this more regularly with their other games. I mean, if you enjoy playing their games and you want to support their content, if you know, I'm going to pick up Legend of Zelda. If I enjoy the game so much, I want to play it some more, then yeah, I'll get the expansion packs. I know one game in particular that I literally picked up and played through till the end, Far Cry 4. I bought the DLC for that also, so, you know, I wanted to play more Far Cry 4, but I didn't want to replay the full story, so I got the DLC and I played through that instead. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think this is a good move by Nintendo, or are you with the people who think it's a bad move? Let me know what you think below. Obviously, this is my opinion, I'm not going to discount other people's. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch news.